Hello and welcome everybody. Those who end up coming up on the live, I want to just say hello, hello, and happy 2021. I hope everyone has had a great weekend. Many of you will have Monday off, celebrating the late Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And some of us may go back to work, but for those of you who have the day off, I hope you enjoy your time off, reflect, watch some documentaries, spend some time with your family. Those of you who are homeschooling your kids is a great way to do some history. And I hope everyone is doing well. So I was on a StreamYard yesterday with S underscore Hutchinson. And I told her that I was possibly going to do a live, and she said she was going to be on my case if she did not see a live from me by the end of the week. And since I do not want the smoke, I don't need that kind of grief. And when you tell somebody you're going to do something and you want that accountability, you can't get mad if someone calls you on the carpet. So I said, you know what, I'm going to get ahead of it and I'm going to do my live. So I figured whether I had one person or no one, it's just going to be an upload and my thing is done. I can check it off. So uh, if you see this, uh, Shelly, you'll know I did my live, girl. I got it done. All right. So it is January. I consider January my YouTube versary. And I had to go and look in the vault and figure out exactly what I was going to do because we had a really good live on S underscore Hutchinson talking about, at least the part that I came in on, talking about, starting a channel, and some of the subscribers were talking about, should I start a channel? And I absolutely encourage anyone who wants to start a channel, definitely start a channel. If you have something that you want to talk about, start your channel. Don't be afraid to start your channel. Don't be afraid of the dark side. I would just say focus on your focus. I have a mentor that says that focus on your focus and don't worry about what other people are doing. Just focus on what you want to do and put your content out there, and your audience will come and find you. Okay. So I thought that was really good advice. I hope those who were in her chat really take some of those takeaways. And there are a lot of creative, skillful, knowledgeable people, funny people. People just have things to show to the world, and do not be afraid to start your channel. Okay? Um, it's okay. And I can say, just from my own personal experience, when I started my channel, I did not have any fear of the dark side, and that might just be naivete, but I was not concerned about, the downside. But all I can say is be true to yourself and stay focused on your content and let things happen organically, and what will happen will happen. The numbers will come. Okay. So as you can see, I don't have a lot of numbers, and I've been on YouTube going back to my very first video is September 2015. And that's okay because I gave the notion of numbers up a long time ago. Uh, but I'm still here. And hey, I've been going back and forth of what I wanted to do with my channel. And every time I say, I think I want to shut my channel down, I always get someone to say, absolutely not, don't shut your channel down. So I'm still here, but I do realize that consistency is the key. And I will say I have not been consistent for many reasons. Okay. I have not been consistent for many reasons. And that's okay. That's the price you pay for not having some numbers. But that's been well recently. And for those of you who are in the chat, thank you for coming. If you do a thumbs up, thank you so much for stopping by, driving by. But yeah, so 2021, what have I been doing? Been doing a lot. Had some ups and downs, ending 2020, a couple of deaths of important people in my life. My pastor passed away on the 23rd of December, and then we lost an elder. He passed away actually while we were laying our pastor to rest. We found out that an elder had passed away. He was a larger than life person, and his funeral was actually yesterday. But my mother-in-law went into the hospital on the 1st of January as I was traveling, and she had surgery yesterday. And in the middle of this COVID, this Rona, the suds, as Brianna Simone says, my mother-in-law is 85, and we can't be in the hospital. And that is very nerve-wracking for anybody who has their loved ones in a hospital. And this is in these times, not being able to physically be there has brought a lot of anxiety. But uh, all is well. She recovered from her procedure and she is resting, and we will all be happy when she comes home. So that's what I have on that. Oh, yesterday I was on my way to, so Mika, I haven't texted you or anything, but Mika, if you see my video, I was on my way to community service with my sorority, gonna go into Chicago and do community service. Hello, hi. Do some community service for this great organization called Feed My Starving Children. And I had gotten a coffee at Dunkin' Donuts. I was in Indiana still, getting ready to travel over the Illinois line. And as I was at a stop sign, just sitting there at a stop sign waiting. So imagine this. So you're at a stop sign, and it's a uh there's 4-lane traffic. So there's 2 lanes going eastbound, 2 lanes going westbound, right? So I'm on the side, and I'm just waiting to get onto the 2-lane going eastbound. And as I'm sitting at the stop sign, this car, I don't know if he was trying to turn into the Dunkin' Donuts. He just ran into me and hit me in the driver's side. And I'm looking at the guy, and all I could do is go, ah! And he hit me. So I got hit by a car yesterday. I'm all in one piece. My poor car, Misty, that's her name. She's all banged up. I was a little banged up yesterday, but I'm feeling better today. But gosh, um, I'm still gonna go and get myself checked out. But there's no way I was gonna go uh, to the ER when I don't have any open wounds in this light of the pandemic. So Mess. So I had to go home and I took some leave and laid down. I am okay. I am okay. I am going to make an appointment to see the doctor in a day, waiting for my insurance cards, but I am going to go see the doctor. Nothing that I felt pressing to go to the ER because, like I said, I'm not going to sit there for hours while the suds is going on to get seen, but I am going to go see the doctor. But so that's what happened with me yesterday. So I just got you all caught up to today. Okay. I got you all caught up today. So I am gonna come on camera because I want to show you something. But just right now I'm just talking. So I know a lot of times people want to do their New Year's resolutions and all that stuff. I am going to have a segment of where I'm going to go back to what I used to do on the content that was discussed in the chat, which is health and wellness. It is my passion. It's important to me. It was something that I talked a lot about privately, not on YouTube, but privately amongst my family and friends about getting themselves healthy. I know a lot of people put on the pandemic 30 and mainly because being at home and out of the routine of life. But the truth of the matter is that now this is our routine. So now we don't have an excuse. So whatever is going on right now in as far as your life, it's probably is what's going to be. And so we need to find ways to have our new normal be doable. I've talked to quite a few of my friends, and they said that they have gained quite a bit of weight, gotten a little fluffy since uh, this first shutdown. And yes, Sean, it is very important. And you know why? Because this is the thing. I've been paying a lot of attention, and it has always been a passion of mine. When I first started my channel, one of the things that I was talking about with my health and wellness was a lot of my personal journey as a child who had a sick parent. My mom was diagnosed as a young woman with diabetes, and she did not take very good care of herself. And she cut her life short from that condition. Um, and I know that it's something that can be taken care of. It can be maintained, and from a lot of people through their dietary changes and making health changes regarding exercise and nutrition, they can come off their medication and their glucose and their insulin can come back down to normal. I don't want to say cured, but it can come back down to a normal state where they're not taking that medication anymore. My mom was taking insulin shots 3 times a day. That's not good. And she never got a handle on it. Now, we could break this down into segments in so many ways because as a child and a young adult I was very, very angry with her because I was like, why can't you fix this? Why can't you get this together? And truth be told, it it damages everything. So here's the thing about diabetes, and I think when I talk to people about diabetes, it damages it di- diabetes is a vascular condition to the body, meaning that diabetes affects everything vascular to the body. So this is why you have people who have problems with their eyes, their heart, their kidneys, their circulation, their sense of feeling, nerve damage. It's all vascular. And it is a it is a slow, deadly way that it just takes your body. And I think doctors back then didn't really express it enough. In our culture, the African American culture, I heard, someone be in touch with sugar. I mean, that's very misleading because we all like sugar, and sugar sounds good and it doesn't sound harmful, but uh, diabetes is a slow chipping away at your body. And I had read somewhere years ago that your body actually ages 7 years. Um, the speed is like 7 years to your chronological year. So that I understand that because it's so taxing to your body what the insulin and glucose and all that has to do to your body when it has to work at being regulated, that it's hard. Your body really is doing everything that it can to get back to health. Thank you for talking about this. I have chronic illness and I cannot control, but I do. Yes, yes. And listen, I'm not saying this as a bad thing to my mother. I'm saying that I don't feel that the healthcare back then really expressed to my mother the seriousness of her health. And I'll just say this. I was 12 years old when my mother found out that she was diabetic. She found out she was diabetic when she went into a diabetic coma. That's how she found out that she had diabetes. So when she finally came out of the coma, she was in a coma for 3 days. So when she finally got over that health scare, they really did not impress upon her the seriousness of it. And culturally, I can tell you that the condition wasn't impressed. Like I grew up, I'm a kid of the 70s. Like I had like all the encyclopedia books. I had to go to the library and look it up. I don't know anything that's normal about losing feet and toes and your leg. I don't understand how that could be considered normal. But in the culture, they would talk about it kind of passive. Like that's a shame. Like it's supposed to happen. Like there wasn't anything that person can do, and that's not true. And I think also because I was raised in the church and people don't talk about this as well, and I will say this, fast forward as an adult, you know as a child, I didn't understand why my mom could not stop eating. I couldn't understand why my mom would not change her diet. I was very angry that she would not do things that I felt like she could do for herself, that I would look up and try to make changes. I mean, she did make some, but not enough. And the truth of the matter is that my mom was a single woman who went to church, and culturally, and it hasn't changed, food and being overweight and overeating is acceptable in church. Nobody wants to say it, but you can be an overweight person and it's okay because you're not drinking, you're not smoking. That's not quote unquote sinful. But having dinner or eating after church, that's not bad. We're fellowshipping. My aunt didn't really get it and said at the end of her life she didn't take it serious enough. My mother did. Oh, see, I'm so sorry, Sean. We got a lot in common. Our name and everything. Yeah. And my mom towards the end of her life, um, I had to make the decision. She had ended up getting gangrene in her leg, and her biggest fear was that she would have to get her leg amputated. Unfortunately, she could not speak. And so me and my siblings had to make the painful decision to do it because there wasn't really a choice. I mean, gangrene is not compatible with life, and so we had to do that. and it still wasn't enough. And then we found out that it had already traveled to her other leg, and I was so I was so upset about it, hoping that maybe she did not know what was going on, hoping that she wasn't hearing that had to happen because that was her biggest fear. But we had to make that decision. And I just, as a child, having to see that, oh, as a child having to go through that, I don't wish that on anybody. And to know that it is something that you can control is something that I try so much to help people with. I try not to preach. I try not to preach, but I do press upon themselves that, the sooner you can get this condition under control, the better you will be to your body and the better quality of life you will have. And I think that's what people kind of don't get when we talk about health, and especially with these New Year's resolutions, and especially with making life changes. It's about quality of life. And I want a good quality of life. Nothing is 100%, nothing is guaranteed, but I do know that I got a better chance having a good quality of life, cooking my own food. If I don't eat organic, I know that as I eat as many fresh produce as possible and cook food in its least distorted way, you know, more broiled and baked than fried. Keep those things as treats and not, as the exception and not the norm. And really just kind of going back to some basics. And I realized also that not everybody was taught how to eat. And so if you were not taught how to eat well, this is a good time to do it. Because if we're not able to go out and eat, or financially we can't afford to go out and eat, maybe a lot of us are still financially bound by what's going on. The best way to save money is to cook at home. And the way to even eat healthy is to cook at home because you're touching your food yourself. You know what's going into your food. And there's a great book that I read, and they talk about, I have to think about the book, maybe I'll put it in, look it up, but it talks about the three components that restaurants use: salt, sugar, and fat. And one of the chapters, the the guy was talking to someone that's in the restaurant business, and salt, sugar, and fat is the formula. Okay, so he could take a dish and really just say what it is in that formula. He could say fat, salt, sugar, in the formula of what was the most prominent thing. And that's what it is in restaurants. It's all about salt, sugar, and fat. When you're looking at packaged goods at your grocery store, it's salt, sugar, and fat. If something is being removed, something more is being replaced. So even though you may think something is low in sugar, something else is being replaced. And sugar is everywhere, everywhere. You'd be surprised how many grams of sugar are in things that should not have so much sugar in it. So, doing things like reading labels and just taking the time to prepare your food. Um, People say they don't have time, but I don't have time to be in a hospital bed either. So you're either going to pay in the front end or at the back end. I just choose to pay in the front end right now. So, and I'm saying this as someone who has gone through their own weight loss journey. Um, I had lost quite a bit of weight. And then I found myself like, what happened? And somewhere along the line, myself, I had gained like, I don't know, 40 pounds. Now, I didn't feel like I gained 40 pounds in the beginning, but my knees started to hurt. I was still working out, still getting up, going to CrossFit, so I'm a solid person because I'm fit, but something happened and I looked up and my body was not the same. And the fact that we did have the pandemic, so being out and even being dressed like you normally would be dressed, that wasn't going on. So I was like, this isn't good. Now, of course, you know how people are like, girl, you look fine. You know, you look good, blah, blah. But I didn't feel good. And then the big blow, and I'm just being really honest and transparent. And uh what I could not ignore that something was wrong was that after a few doctor visits, my doctor said, okay, I'm going to have the talk with you. I'm going to have to put you on high blood pressure medication. What? Wait, what? She was like, I can't let you walk around and with high blood pressure. And I was like, you got to be kidding me. So I had to go on high blood pressure medication. And I'm like, I don't care what anyone is telling me how good I look. My body is telling me something different. And that is what you cannot deny. And that is what a lot of us need to stop lying to ourselves. Our community equates thinness with illness all too often. Yes. And we also equate curviness with the fact that you don't have a problem. And that's not true. Now you could go get your numbers and your cholesterol is fine, your insulin glucose is fine, you got a blood pressure is fine. Um, you know, all those things are fine. If you can tell me that is fine, it is fine. But my body was speaking to me. I I am a physically fit person. I CrossFit 5 to sometimes 7 days a week. So that's not my problem. That was not my problem. And yet I was still gaining weight. How am I doing this and I'm still gaining weight? Well, that's just one component. Okay. The main component is what you put in your mouth because I eat far more than I exercise, right? We make many more choices of what we put in our mouths than the scheduled time that we go and work out. And there was no way I could deny the mindless eating, the drinking, um, that the cocktails I'm having at home with my husband because we're not going out anymore. It was catching up. And my body is talking to me. But I'm just telling you my story. I don't know, maybe your story is different, but I'm just telling you my body was telling me something. So during this time, uh, 2020, I spent the time working on me. And so far, I've lost 38 pounds. It might be more. Let me check. I'm going to do the calculations because actually I have to weigh myself tomorrow. But I'm going to give you a ballpark. 39 pounds. I started in May. And it was really just my diet. I mean, because I got the exercise thing on lock, but I really just started working on my diet. And I'm just going to have a sidebar conversation. So any of you ladies that come on, oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm on phase two now. I'm on phase two. I'm not done. So I'm going to be 51 in March. I've already gone through menopause, and it is what it is. And again, I'm on. I can only talk about my experience so far, of being a woman of a particular age and all that, and hearing other women who have come before me and tell me about all this and about what your body's going to do and all that. Well, I'm just going to tell you that I do not subscribe to what, if it happened to you, it's going to happen to me, because I just cannot acquiesce to the idea that I believe the latter will be greater. Like these years that I'm coming into my own. My children, are young adults. Like, why would now my body not be where I want it to be when my life is just going to be getting better? I'm done with the grind of parenthood. I'm in a different grind of parenthood, but nevertheless. And no, being fat ain't on my list. I'm not trying to be fat. Okay. I'm not trying to be fat. I've been an active person my whole life. Other than having babies has been the time where weight was my issue, losing my baby weight. So, no, don't tell me because I'm 50 and gone through menopause that now I'm going to be fat. Don't tell me that. Okay? I'm not going for it. I'm not going for it. So, I just decided to make some changes. And here's the thing, I can only say for me, I do realize I had to approach this differently this time around because I am 50, okay? I'm not 30, I'm not 20. Losing weight is going to be different. It was going to be slow. It is not on my list. No. No, absolutely not. I'm not trying to be 50 and fat. I'm trying to be 50 and fabulous. Do you see what my avatar is doing? Do you see how she is posing? That is a fabulous pose. No. So, anyway, so I have a coworker. He's 40. He lost 85 pounds. He actually had lost weight before. And we've been talking because he's got a different journey and he's a guy. But he, we both have the same resolve, I will say that. And I think a lot of people who have lost weight and get to this point of resolution realizes one thing, and the number one thing about losing weight. When you decide that you want to go on a health journey and you decide that you want to, make choices and make changes, they must be long lasting. They must be permanent, they must be consistent, and they must be something that you can do on the long haul. So don't get caught up in the fever of the hacks. Don't get caught up in the fever of the latest and the greatest thing. Don't get caught up in the things that you feel is that one thing is going to be the magic bullet that's going to get you to the other side. He and I have had some really great conversations, and the truth of the matter is that those who lose the weight and keep the weight off find a sustainable diet that they can do so they can go into the maintenance, because losing weight is half of the battle. And that's part of it is also is while I'm doing what I'm doing now, Oh, good for you. 100%. You've done it and maintained. So losing the weight is half of the battle. The other half is the maintenance portion. What am I going to do to be able to sustain what I've lost for the long haul? Because you can't just say, I'm going to give all this up and never eat it again. Now, there might be some things you decide to, but okay, there's some things you're just going to have to come to a resolution that some of the things that you've put in your life to eat, you may not be able to eat them nearly as much as you used to. Like it has to be a treat. It has to be a treat. And I'm not suggesting any particular diet because I've done a lot of research on that. And the truth of the matter is that people will lose weight on any diet as long as they follow the plan. That's the bottom line. So it doesn't really matter what you decide to do, because it depends on what you like. So a lot of people like a lot of different diets because it suits their palate, it suits their preferences, it suits their lifestyle. I'm not going to suggest to anyone any particular diet, but I do suggest that you stick to foods that are fresh as much as possible, that are whole foods as much as possible, and that are close to its original source as much as possible. So if you're going to eat produce, fruits, and vegetables, eat them in this fresher source. Get an apple, eat peaches. Don't get canned peaches, in its syrup or in its water because it's processed. Eat a fresh fruit. If you can't, if you can't find fresh asparagus, then the next best thing is frozen. You know, um, if you got to get the green beans in a can, let that be your last resort. You know what I'm saying? So there's tiers to this. So that's what I have to say about that. So I want to, mm, I want to, well, maybe I can show it to you now because let's see if I do this. All right, and I am now unmuted. Hey, how's it going? I'm here on camera, so um, let's just go and take a little break and do a hair check. Check it out. She's growing, y'all. She's really fluffy today. So look, y'all, not too bad. It's gonna be 2 years from my big chop from my sister locks. Not bad, huh? Woo! Look at that. See that? Girl's getting some length. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's growing. She's growing. So I have a product, and I wanted to do something. Oh, hey, hey. So I wanted to show you something that I treated myself. I gave to myself for Christmas. And this is why I got my camera on. And then after the camera, I'm gonna probably put back my avatar because I got one last thing. You ready to big chop again? Well, wait till it hits the summer. You want to keep hair while it's cold. That's my idea. Now that I have hair, keep the hair while it's cold. Do the big chop when it's when it's hot. So okay, so now I said, you don't have to do the latest and the greatest thing, right? However, I do know that there are some things that people enjoy and use to keep them on track and keep them accountable, right? So it's a gadget type of thing, and I believe in the basics. Okay, nobody wins championships unless they know the basics. Okay, Michael Jordan was Michael Jordan. Kobe Bryant was Kobe Bryant, but they all continually practiced the basics. They were great players, but I've seen a lot of uh, tapes of Kobe Bryant, and he always practiced the basics. He was practicing before the players came on the court, and he was the last one still practicing when people would leave. He was always continually practicing the basics, okay? And he's considered one of the greatest basketball players. But he was always, even as an elite player, he was always working on the basics. So in this health journey, it seems so simple. And that's why I say, don't worry about these hacks and the newest thing. It Work on the basics. Work on the basics, do them consistently. Don't overwhelm yourself. I always believe in being consistent in the things, on the small things, and building yourself up. So here's the deal. So water, people always say, so what is the number one thing I could do? Water. What is the number one thing I could do for my health? And I would say water. Okay. Water is essential to life. Our body is made up of 50 to 70% of water. Many times when we think we are hungry, we are thirsty, and water is essential. Um, Let me just tell you, I'm looking here on the other laptop, and a lot of times when I want to look up some information regarding health and wellness, I go to the mayoclinic.org. So I just pulled up water. And what is the health benefits of water? So every cell, tissue, and organ in your body needs water to work properly. So for example, it gets rid of waste through urination, perspiration, and bowel movements. Now, I will just tell you, there are a lot of people who are constipated, and that is because they do not drink a lot of water. Water is essential to keep things flowing. It also keeps your temperature normal, it lubricates and cushions your joints, and it protects sensitive tissues. Lack of water can lead to dehydration. Okay, and even mild dehydration can drain your energy and make you tired. So when you're having that 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock slump, normally after lunchtime, and we say we have the itis, probably by that time you probably haven't had enough water. So always think, have I had any water yet? Or someone will say they have a headache. I'll ask them, did you have any water? How much water have you had today? Someone will say, well, I really haven't drank very much water. So I say, I would suggest you drink some water. That probably might be a problem. So drinking water is essential, and most people do not drink water. Okay, so the question is, how much water do you need? Well, that varies. It varies on your lifestyle. It varies on your activity, your work. Some people work in hot environments. Some people need more liquids just because they're on different medications that that make them have to go to the bathroom a lot, so you need to replace yourself with water. But we're just going to go by the average. Okay, so it says here that 15.5 cups of fluid a day for men and about 11 cups of fluids a day for women. And it says these recommendations cover fluids from water, other beverages from food. So if you're eating whole fruits and vegetables, you're also getting water from those plant sources, from those sources. So you also can get water from other things. So you ever put spinach in a pan and you got this big old batch of spinach, and then after you cook it and it's only like maybe like 2 cups, it's full of water. So if you're eating whole foods, you're getting water sources from your whole foods. So obviously it's very apparent in your fruit. but a lot of people don't realize there is a lot of water in vegetables as well. So um, here's my gadget that I want to show you that I got myself for drinking water. So this is Hydrate. It's called Hydrate Spark. I don't, I'm not a I don't have Hydrate sponsoring me, but you know, if you Hydrate, if you want to send me a free bottle and let me review it, I would not mind because I already have one and I would love to review one of your new products. I sure would. So this is from Hydrate Spark, and my coworker had a bottle and it lights up. And it's really cool. So let me just kind of show you through the gadgets. So you can go on hydratespark.com. And for those of you who want to get more water in, I'm going to show you. It has an app. All right. So yeah, it's very cool. So, oh, and this color is fruit punch. All right. So here you go. Ugh. All right. So they have right now two sizes, 17 and 21. I normally would have a 40-ounce bottle, but it doesn't fit into my cup holder. And this one is a 21 ounce and it does fit in my cup holder. They do have two different types of lids. They have the straw, which is this one, and then they have the other one that is called the chug. And the chug is more like your thermos coffee cup that you would normally see that has the little buttons. So it's more of a flat, rounded one. I have the straw. And then, of course, you have the hook. All right. Now, underneath here is the battery where you charge it. Depending on how often it glows, because you'll see it glow here, will depend on how often you have to charge it. So you have to gauge. I asked my coworker, he says he charges his every week. Now, as a precaution, because I just don't want the battery to go down, I charge mine every Sunday night. So, right before bed, I just plug it in and let it charge overnight, and I'm good. So here is the app. Okay, so here is the app. You can decide how much water you want to your goal. So I'm trying to hold up here so you can see it. So my goal is 84 ounces, and as you can see, you have the little circle and it tells you how far. And you can also put in manually how much water you drink. So if you forget to bring your water bottle or you can't bring your water bottle and say you ran out and you drink water from another source. Someone gives you a water bottle. I drank this. All right. I drank this and this is 16.9 fluid ounces. I can okay, so you see the little icon. See a little icon here. So you press that and you can manually put in your water. And it says 16, 12, or 8. So you can manually add in your water fluids. So you don't have to always have the water bottle. You can add it in manually. Okay. So obviously you got your days of the week. And then, okay, so let me just show you. All right. So hopefully you can see it. It says here I'm at 24, right? So I'm gonna drink some so we can see how this goes live in live action. I'm trying to drink enough. It'll start to move. Now you can't see it right now, ooh, but I can also have my bottle glow, and I'll show you that in a minute. Gonna see if I drink enough water for it to register. Come on. Whew. I'm gonna have to go to the bathroom. See if it changes. Oh, oh, see? Okay, so now you saw a change, right? I had to drink enough water for it to register. All right, so you see a change. So over here you see the little trophy. See a little, see the trophy? So I'll hit the trophy, and then if you're like me, and even as an adult, it taps in on the little child of you that like the gold stars. You have little things, little trophies you can get. So down here it'll have the unlock, the unlock, see? And so right now it says here, I achieved the trophy 24 pack bottles saved that saved 24 single-use plastic bottles from ending up in the ocean. So for those of you who are socially and environmentally conscious, you can do that. So you can see all the little trophies that you can unlock. See? All the little trophies you can unlock. And then down there, it'll go down. You'll have you see where you can unlock new ones. So, all right. Now, you can also compete with other people. Right now, it's just me. So if you're competitive, you can, and you have a friend, you can keep someone accountable and see if you're both going to be drinking the water. So you can do that. Then, of course, if you're someone who got to have graphs, it meets everybody's different, brain. It hits all the different sensory type things. So you can see on the graph how much you're really doing. So for those of you who got to have data, this is important too. So you can run a history. And then there was one more thing I wanted to show you. Oh, a couple of things. Okay. Okay, you got your bottle glow reminders. So um, the bottle glow reminders, you can have it set up to always remind me that it'll be sent throughout the day, regardless of your progress, or only remind you when you're behind, that the reminders will only be sent when you're behind pace to meet your goal for the day. The total number of reminders may be less than what you have selected. So um, then you can put down that you only want the bottle to glow when you take a drink or to glow when you meet your goal. I don't need the bottle to glow when I take a drink, but I think, again, this is all a brain type of a sensory thing. So, it's like, oh, yay, it's like your own little applause if you take a drink, that it lights up like, we're so proud of you, you took a drink. So if you need that encouragement, you can do that. You normally just do the hit the glow when I meet my goal, like a big old hurrah that I crushed it. I made my goal, so then it will do that. So let me just show you. I'm trying to do this where you can see what the glow is. I think I have mine on rainbow. So let me see if I can do this. I got a low. See how that goes? See how it glows? Then high, see? Just in case you didn't see it. Low, medium, okay, see how that is? This is rainbow color. I just put on rainbow. Then here's the medium. And again, the more your bottle glows, obviously, the more often you'll have to charge it. So, that's a lot, right? That's a lot. It's like a rave. So there you go. Now, here is another thing that's very important, which I also think is great, is that it is synced up with a lot of your other things. You can, if you go into settings, trying to find it. Hmm. Here we go. So if you go into Go, as you can see here, see all these apps? It's connected. So you can sync it up and it's compatible. So it'll also show up on my Fitbit, which I see the check mark, connected to my Fitbit. So there you go. So that's what I wanted to show you. So it's been fun. Um, the name of the bottle is Hydrate. If you put in Hydrate, it'll probably show up Hydrate Spark. Now I'm just going to tell you, the sticker price is high. I got it during the holidays. So I paid $54. Oh, so I'm going to have to resync it. So the little thing is here at the bottom. You do not submerge it in water. You hand wash it. This is there's a cord, a magnetic cord that goes in here, on here. And then it glows. This whole thing, this little canister glows. You're welcome. It glows. So then you just stick it back on when you're done. And then you'll probably have to recalibrate it. And all that means you just have to be by your phone and make sure that it's reset. So I've really enjoyed it. So I've enjoyed it. It's been fun. A lot of people don't like to drink water. And so this is another way. But again, for me, I think I paid it. I saw one, it was like $64, $64.99. I think I paid $54.99. But I drink water all the time. I'm carrying a water bottle all the time. And when I look at the price of what people spend money on as far as beverages, coffee, soda, I mean, I didn't even realize until I went to go get a soda when I was traveling. Oh, let me see. Let me see. I see Fit Garmin, Under Armour, and I don't know what this is. Let me see. I just hit it. I don't know what it is. It must be Samsung. I think so. Hold on. Oh, because I just hit the thing. Okay, so I hit this one over here. It looks like it's with Samsung Health, and maybe it syncs with the other Samsung. Because I hit this one, that little green apple, little not green apple, green heart. I don't know. The short answer is I don't know. So go on the website and see if it's compatible. But I know like a lot of the other apps that we use a lot will sync with other apps, so I don't know. But definitely before you purchase it, go on the website and see. I'm sure it will tell you right away if it's what it's compatible with. But I don't know what this little this other heart is. I just know the Garmin and the Fitbit, but I'm pretty sure. Okay, good. So yeah. So it's fun, but when I think of how much money people spend a day on other things, oh, okay, good. Oh, awesome. So when I think of how much money people spend on other things to drink, juice, coffee, soda. I really don't think that this is a bad price when I'm going to have it. It's a water bottle and I'm going to keep it. And I use it when I go to the gym. I come home. I have my water from the refrigerator and then I go to work and then we at the office have a cooler. We have they come in and we got our own little water tank cooler. Oh no. Well, you know what? I bet you it'll catch up. I bet you it'll catch up. And you know what? I got on check Amazon. I'm sure other products have one like this. There's other stuff. And see if you can find one that might be compatible with it. With your Galaxy Watch, and see if there's another product that's like this one that's with the Galaxy Watch compatible. But I think it's worth it for me. So that's how the cost for me, that's how I consider the cost, because I do consider cost when I'm purchasing something about, really is it worth the money. And as much water as I drink, and I carry this around all the time, and I have access to water, yeah. And it keeps me accountable so that I'm not having to worry about drinking water all at once towards the end of the day. So, um, and then of course, when you're traveling, it's nice that because I know when you go to airports, they have water bottle filling stations. You just have to have your own water bottle. So, water at the airport is ridiculous. So forget that. I'd rather bring my own water bottle. So yeah. So that's what I wanted to show you about that little gadget, little doodad. If you don't have problems drinking water, don't worry about it. If you just want something different, hopefully you can find a product like this compatible. But I've been having fun with it, and it has been keeping me accountable. And I think that's really the number one thing, ways to keep yourself accountable so that you can stay on the path. And here's my hair looking crazy. So I'm going to go off camera and I'm going to finish up with something fun. And then I hope y'all go and enjoy the rest of your evening because, oh my gosh, I can't believe it's been an hour. I have been talking. Oh, I need some water. Oh my Lord. Okay, Avatar's back on. All right. Okay, so in light of my YouTubeversary, I wanted to end my segment with a tag video. Now, one of the great things that I loved when I was a subscriber was seeing all the YouTubers do tag videos. Now, I know nobody thinks I am, but I was around back in the day when YouTube was very different than it is now. And one of the fun things that I remember being a content creator, what back then we called them YouTubers, but one of the great things about being a YouTuber is that you would do tag videos, and then you would shout out who you would like people to, do the tag videos. Or you would just leave the tag video out there and just invite any YouTuber, please do a tag, please do this tag. Now, I think, you know, I think I want to pick up the baton, and I think on 2021, I think I want to come up with some tag videos because one, it's a great way to get to know your YouTuber, although I know that a lot of us know our YouTubers, and It was the number one thing that I did as a YouTuber. Someone who's starting out as a YouTuber. Um, it's an icebreaker video, and it's a get to know me, lots of different things, and it's just fun. It's like, let's make YouTube fun again with the tag videos. And James Colwell was notorious for doing tag videos. He loved tag videos. He got excited about doing tag videos. He always led the tag videos. And whenever we would see him do an upload and it was a tag video, everybody got excited. We knew it was just going to be fun. So I just want to bring that energy back. So I know that I'm a little YouTuber and that a lot of people don't see me. However, for anyone who sees me and you are a YouTuber, or if you are a subby and you have a YouTuber that you like, tell them to look at my video, and I'm going to do this tag video, and ask them to do the tag video just for fun, just to make it fun. Okay, so I went back in the vault. This is from September 2015. It is the first real video I ever did, and it is called Are You Shady? So I thought it was fitting. Are you shady? So I wanted to see if my answers from 2015 would be different than 2021. And guess what? Not really. Not really. Okay, so there's 10 questions on the tag video. Are you shady? And again, I invite every YouTuber to do this tag video and share it with your subbies. Just do something fun. Now that we have StreamYard, actually you can do the tag video and invite a subby up there and ask them about them if they're shady. Okay. All right. So number one, do you consider yourself shady? And and I first said no, but then when James was giving us the my answer then was, I think I might be. And you know what? You know what? Fast forward now in 2021, I'm gonna say yeah. My shady side is a little subtle, but yeah, I can be shady. I mean, I think I was just being a little too a little too demure back in 2015. And we've gotten older and wiser, and maybe turning 50, I found my voice. But yeah, I can be a little shady. Never mean, absolutely not. Never, never, never mean or malicious. But can I say I'm shady? Yeah, I can say I'm shady, but it doesn't come out. It doesn't come out, you know, only on special occasions. Number two, do you screen your cell calls, or pick up? I screen. I screen all the time. Sometimes I just go straight to you have that text thing where it just decline. I like that one. Number three, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you spend time alone? Well, I put mine on a 15 to 20 scale of 15 to 20 because at the time, we're talking about 2015, I had three teenagers in the house at the same time. So I was really looking for a place to hide. But now that I'm in a different phase of my life, I'm a person who needs a lot of alone time. I do value private time. That has not changed. How do you handle pop-up visits at your house? I don't. I don't. Don't come to my house if you didn't call me. That's not cool. I think everybody knows me. A pop-up, unless it's my children that are coming to surprise me on a visit, they are now the only exception to the rule. Everybody else, you know where the phone is. You know what to do. Number five, how many extra pet peeves do you possess? So back then I had being late and rude children and bad table manners And when I said rude children, I put down children who are rude in public that are not corrected by their parents. So actually, it probably should be more parents who don't correct their rude children. I shouldn't have led with rude children, but it really hasn't changed. I still don't like being late. And even though we got mukbangs and ASMRs, okay, unless you are doing that, I do not care for bad table manners. And I really do not like parents that do not correct their rude children. And I don't like rude people in general. And I would probably say that is pretty solid. So, number six, what is your number one pet peeve and why? Ooh, okay. So, back then I said being late because in my mind, people who are, and we have those people in our lives, right? Like you feel like you got to tell them, we're supposed to be meeting at 7 o'clock for dinner, and this person is notoriously late, and they're the person that you always have to tell them that, listen, we meeting for lunch, really, we're meeting for dinner at 5:30 because then they're going to show up on time. Um, but I still do not like, I don't like the idea of being late because I feel, and I still feel the same way, that when people are chronically late, I feel that they don't value other people's time. And those people who are always late, I still have that same feeling that they are selfish and self-centered, and that they feel that it's all about them because we're just going to wait on them. Now, I value other people's time. So I don't want anyone to think that I'm so self-absorbed with what I'm doing that it's more important than to be on time with what we're supposed to be doing. And that really bothers me. And I think in the light of the culture of the climate today, probably rude people is number one, and then being late is like 1A. But, we seem to be lately finding people a lot short-tempered and thinking that they don't have to follow rules and they shouldn't do this or that. So I would say rude people probably is inching out, but being late still bothers me. Number seven, what is the worst gift you've ever received? And back then I just said that I don't think I've ever received the worst gift. I've had gifts that didn't fit me. Like someone bought me, makeup that, didn't fit my skin tone, or maybe jewelry or a piece of clothing that really didn't fit my style. But I wouldn't say the worst gift. I just said a gift that didn't fit my personality or suit my taste, but not a worst gift. So that hasn't changed. Okay, number eight, how often do you find yourself in tears? So I said I had three teens at home. I don't know. I don't know about finding myself in tears. I mean, I've cried a bit because I've had some great losses lately. But I still find crying is therapeutic. Um, Crying is okay. But I did cry losing my pastor and losing elder in our church. That was very sad. And coming back to church after that first day back, all coming together was very emotional. But that would be the last time I cried. So that was pretty recent. How long did your worst relationship last? So I got married at 24. So my relationships weren't many, but I would say a year. And then the last one, number 10, who ended the relationship and did you remain friends? So back then I said for who ended the relationship, it was me. And did you remain friends? I said no, but that has changed. We did reconnect and he's still single. He never did get married. So he's a Facebook friend, and And anytime we really just share over Facebook, over Air Force nostalgia, because we were stationed in England together. But mainly that's it. Anything Air Force, anything military, we normally will correspond. That's pretty much it. So that is it for Are You Shady? All right. So this was fun. So thank you so much. Anybody catch the replay? Anyone that watches it, give it a thumbs up, share. And listen, you don't have to be a YouTuber to do the Are You Shady? If you find a question that you want to answer to on the comments that resonated with your spirit, please answer. And also, please share any of your thoughts or tips or challenges on health and wellness. And I would like to be able to use any of those things as content going into my videos in the future, because I think for the next few months, I'm going to stick on that. I do have something that I do want to do as far as showing you. Thank you. You as well, Sean. I do want to do some things in the gym, showing you some simple things to do to for overall health. But I'm so nervous about these copyright things with the music, because most gyms have music. So I'm trying to find, like, I gotta like mute my camera and not have any sound and like do voiceover. So, and that takes time, and your girl is working. I'm still studying. I got a test in about 3 weeks that I have to study for. So I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do that. I may not demonstrate stuff, but I may just show you some products that I'm using for my fitness goals that might be helpful for you. I know a lot of people, yeah, I think I'm going to mute because I just don't want to do that, and then just try to do the voiceover, or just mute it and just you just see what I'm doing, because it's going to be kind of evident. But I just want to show you some small changes that you can make, because really, I mean, I worked on my journey starting in May, and here it is December. So it takes time, and taking time is good. You know, taking time to work on yourself is really a good thing. And if not now, when? You know, when? And if all of us are in different ways of being shut down and not doing the normal thing, take the time now to research a diet that's going to fit you. Research, you know, exercise that's going to suit your body and suit your fitness level. And find ways to incorporate small changes that you can do consistently, and you'll start to see them. And it's funny because I went to church today, and I got, you know, a lot of compliments. You know, I'm just kind of going through the my own grind in my head. I don't see it. I mean, I don't see that I've lost 39 pounds, but I know 39 pounds is a lot of weight to lose. I know it. I don't see it because I'm still working at it. But, you know, I've been making those consistent changes. So let's start with something that you know that you can do and do it well. So let's start by drinking our water and getting that down, and then finding another thing to do. And oh, I have my Fitbit. Me and my people at work, we do, what is that called? I'm trying to think. I gotta look it up. I'm sorry. We do our weekly thing on Fitbit. And if you want to do something on Fitbit, you can always, oh, it's called the Work Week Hustle. So it's me and usually it's 3 or 4 of us, 3 to 5 of us, and we do the work week. Yeah, thank you. And you too, stay encouraged. Um, Congratulations to you for maintaining, because that is where that is where the weak and the strong get divided. But so on the Fitbit, we do the work week hustle, and that's getting your steps in. And then whoever has the most steps at the end of the week wins. I mean, it's just a matter of just wearing your Fitbit and it just logs in your steps. And it's just a little fun, you know, little fun thing to do, little fun friendly competition. But if you would like to be a Fitbit friend, you know my name. Let me just double check that it's still the same here, that my name isn't hyphen. No, I'm on there as Sean Sanders. So you can always add me if you want to do a work week hustle. There's all different type of things, or weekend warrior thing. I don't mind. I offered that a while ago, but I wouldn't mind being your Fitbit friend. That would be fine with me. You can look me up. Um, uh, and like I said, you just look me up by name and I'll accept you as a Fitbit friend, and we can encourage each other by logging in our steps if you have a Fitbit. All right, so take care of yourself and each other. I can't believe I've been on here that long. So tell S_Hutchinson that I did do a video. Okay, Sean, please. All right, take it back to her. I did it. All right. So have a wonderful Sunday night. Enjoy your holiday if you have it, and have a fantastic week. All right. Take care of yourself. Bye.